This video was meant to be more of a celebration of my Golf GTD ownership. I was aiming to film a breakdown of how much this car has cost me to run from new over the past 10 years I've owned it. Well, that's going to have to be the next video, and I'll tell you why. If you've watched my last couple of videos, you will have seen that I've been having clutch problems. My clutch pedal was dropping to the floor, so I replaced my clutch master cylinder, and all was well, as I explained in the video, with the caveat that I hoped nothing was going to show itself, such as a possible slave cylinder leak somewhere down the line. It seems to be good news. Clutch master cylinder, only time will tell. Hopefully it's not the slave cylinder, which might show itself, might not. Fingers crossed, otherwise it's going to be a new clutch more than likely. So while I'm on a drive to the garage for what is now an overdue MOT, I thought I'd do this video on what's been going on over the last few weeks. After merrily driving around with my new master cylinder, I jumped in my car to drive off for an MOT, and boom, clutch pedal hits the floor again and doesn't return. My Golf has an internal slave cylinder. This means I couldn't see any obvious leaks, so I just had to presume that could be the possible issue. The thing is, new slave cylinder equals new clutch, and while you're at it, you may as well have the dual mass flywheel replaced, which is all quite expensive. You would not believe the range of quotes I've had. So here I am driving to the MOT testing centre after having a new clutch and dual mass flywheel replaced just yesterday. Was it the slave cylinder? Here's how it went. What a day for a new clutch. Well, it seems owning a Golf GTD isn't all rosy. And as mentioned in the intro, today is set aside for a new clutch and dual mass flywheel to see if we can sort this clutch pedal out once and for all. Instead of going all in with a clutch, I had a couple of options I could have tried first. Either bleed the clutch again in case there's some air trapped, or go as far as replacing the clutch master cylinder again in case the one I had fitted the other week was faulty. Pretty unlikely. Both of these options felt like I was kind of clutching at straws, I guess, on a 10-year-old 80,000 mile car. When a clutch pedal drops to the floor, as in my case, there's not much option but to go down the route of a clutch master cylinder first before doing the clutch. Imagine doing the clutch first and then finding out the clutch master cylinder is the problem all along at a fraction of the cost. As I mentioned in the intro, I had some wild quotes for this job, ranging from approximately £1,250 up to £2,400 plus. Although I asked for every quote to include the dual mass flywheel, some came without it included and some came with it included. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, I wanted to let you know that my next video will be a rundown on how much this car has cost me to run over the last 10 years. I'll itemise everything, including today's clutch outlay, so look out for that one. In the meantime, who's up for battling it out in the comments as to how much this clutch and DMF replacement has cost? Back to the clutch again. I believe in the manual this job is around 6.5 hours. But it's freezing this morning, so we'll see how my mechanic gets on. I've started the car up, so at least it's warm to touch. Okay, so the job is underway and the transmission bell housing is off, and you may or may not be able to see there is some fluid in here. So it looks like we've hit the jackpot. So here you can see that the new dual mass flywheel, the DMF, and the clutch kit is all going on. The old DMF did have quite a bit of play in it, so it was definitely worth replacing. I also decided to get the gearbox oil changed. I think it's lifetime oil in there from new, but I wasn't too sure, so I thought it was worth a change. In the end, the whole job took about 7 hours, with a few cups of tea in between, which was good going considering the weather. Here's a few shots of how the work progressed throughout the day. What do you think of these front brakes, eh? Getting there, aren't they? They should pass an MOT, but will there be any advisories? So there you have it. I have a new clutch and DMF, and this car should be good for many years to come. I have no idea if 80,000 miles is a good run before a clutch issue on a GTD. Has anyone else experienced these sorts of issues? Any experts out there? So as I promised at the beginning of the video, I'd let you know how the MOT went, and here you go. Okay, so we're back from the MOT. Let's send these on, it's a bit dark, isn't it? Passed. However, this year I've got some advisories. Brake disc worn, pitted and scored, but not seriously weakened near side front, and the same on the near side rear and offside rear, which is really weird because I only had those replaced under a year ago. So I don't know what that's all about. We'll see what happens next year. I might try a different MOT test centre and see if the same advisories come up on the rear discs and pads. Brake pads wearing thin on the front, which, yeah, I'll take that. And rear heat shield loose, which is above the rear box. That's a new one, something to check out. But anyway, all passed. So 1 clutch, 1 MOT. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.